Never gonna fade it down. Never gonna say it's mine.
Hello and welcome back to Rana Renovates. I'm your host, Rana Ibrahim. Have you ever managed a project where one week you have 50 workers on site tripping over each other and the next week the site is a ghost town? That feast or famine workflow is a budget killer. Today, we're answering a critical question. How do you stabilize your workforce without missing your deadline? The answer lies in a technique called resource smoothing. Let's get to work. First, let's define what this actually is. Resource smoothing is a scheduling calculation used when your time is constrained. This means the project completion date is fixed. It cannot move. Maybe you have a grand opening date for a hotel or a strict handover clause in your contract. You cannot extend the schedule. However, within that schedule, you have peaks where you need a massive amount of resources, like people, machinery, or money, and valleys where usage is low. Resource smoothing is the process of shifting non-critical activities that have float or wiggle room to flatten those peaks. You are essentially taking tasks from the busy weeks and sliding them into the quiet weeks without changing the project's end date. Let's look at a real-world scenario to make this stick. Let's imagine a high-pressure interior fit-out project for a luxury hotel in downtown Dubai. The hotel must open before New Year's Eve. The deadline is fixed. In your initial schedule, you noted that during week 6, you require 40 painters to paint the guest rooms and the lobby simultaneously. But for the rest of the month, you only need 10 painters. If you stick to this plan, you have to hire 30 extra painters just for week 6. Train them, onboard them, and then let them go a week later. That is a logistical nightmare and incredibly expensive. So, you apply resource smoothing. You look at your schedule and realize the guest rooms are on the critical path. They must be done in week 6. However, the lobby painting has 2 weeks of slack or float time. You decide to shift the lobby painting to week 7 or week 8. Now, instead of needing 40 painters for one crazy week, you can keep a steady crew of 20 painters across the 3 weeks. Never have to thank me. The result? You hit the New Year's deadline, but your labor costs are stable and the site is less crowded and safer. To wrap up, resource smoothing is your best friend when the deadline is non-negotiable, but your resource usage is inefficient. Remember, use the float to flatten the peaks. If you enjoyed this quick dive, please hit subscribe and make sure to like the video. I'm Rana Ibrahim, keeping your projects on time and on budget. See you next time.